most times women don't know they smell because you can't smell yourself. It is when you're with a partner that they can determine if you actually smell a certain way that is offensive. What is a coochie supposed to smell like? So this is what your coochie is not supposed to smell like. It's not supposed to smell like freshly baked cake. Neither is it supposed to smell like flowers, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. I don't care how comfortable you are with your own body. We all have those moments where we think down there doesn't really smell so good, okay? We wonder to ourselves, how and what does it smell like down there? And maybe it's often time when you want to go see a doctor or gynecologist just before a pelvic examination, or it might just be when your partner is making their way to your juicy part for some up close and personal fun, and then you wonder to yourself, do I smell normal? What is normal anyways? What is a coochie supposed to smell like? Now listen up, ladies. I need you to realize this once and for all, that a healthy coochie often do have smell. Alright? Most of the time, the scents are not awful. I'm using scent because when I use Odor now, a lot of people will think it's really, really offensive. It's not offensive. It's not supposed to smell fishy. It's not supposed to smell bad in any way right after sex or during sex. It's not supposed to smell bad, but it does have natural scents, just like when you go sweaty or when you're trying to remove your feet from a certain shoe. It does have smell because we're humans and we're secreting waste products in form of fluid and all of that stuff. Even the balls have its own natural scent. So we smell like humans. Alright? And the smell of our coochie depends on certain factors. If you just took a shower and washed your lady bits, there probably isn't going to be any smell. But if you just had a marathon lovemaking session, your juicy part will definitely have an odor, because it's an alkaline cement. You're taking in an alkaline cement or a basic cement into the acidic walls of your juicy part. So it's going to create a sexual odor, but not offensive. Okay, we need to come to the terms that every coochie has its own unique scent, which is, a combination of the normal bacteria that resides in your coochie, your diet, if you're wearing a natural fabric or a synthetic fabric, your level of hygiene, your bathroom habits, and what your glands secrete, and that invariably boils down to what you're eating. So it's also very important to understand that, the coochie secretes pheromones that are supposed to trigger sexual interest and excitement. All right, I don't know how to describe what a coochie should smell like, but what I can tell you is what it shouldn't smell like. The coochie shouldn't smell like rotten fish or anything rotten. If you smell like a rotten fish, it's because you have BV, and BV is, bacterial vaginosis, which is really an imbalance of the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. Now, the bad guys or the bad bacteria are the anaerobic bacteria, which tends to overgrow, and the anaerobes classically produce that foul or rotten smell. And of course, it can be treated. So if you've got a rotten smell, or your partner thinks that you smell like fish, don't take offense in it. All you need to do is just go see your gynecologist and figure out how to go about the treatment. Don't keep it there. Don't be shy not to visit a gynecologist, because when you keep it there, it will infest and destroy your reproductive organs. All right, so go have a periodic check with a gynecology if you're sexually active, and even if you're not sexually active, just go have a periodic checkup. And the funny thing, most times women don't know they smell because you can't smell yourself. It is when you're with a partner that they can determine if you actually smell a certain way that is offensive. Okay, so don't pick offense when your partner tells you that you smell. All right, it could be the truth, because we rarely even know that we have mouth odor unless someone tells us. Okay, or unless we're very, very in tune with ourselves, we know what we smell like, and we are very invested in how we smell like. Okay, so when it comes off, when you smell a way that is different, you can tell that you smell. You can tell, and then you find a way to solve whatever might be causing that. And also note that, you know, the pH of the coochie is an important gauge for what's going on down there. Some women may notice that after having their period that there is a different odor, and a lot of women also notice a change in their scent after having, you know, intercourse with your partner, because semen is really basic. It's actually alkaline, and the pH of the coochie pot is actually acidic. That's what keeps that place safe. So when you're having intercourse, when you're making love, the semen changes the pH in the juicy pot to the basic side of things, to the alkaline side of things. So that's why you ought to wash off as soon as you're done, all right? And not just sleep it over till the next morning, and you probably continue with morning glory. Ish, that is so nasty. Immediately you have intercourse, go wash yourself. Go wash yourself with water. Okay, just with water. Now the good news is that your coochie is self-cleansing, and it naturally produces some discharge that helps eject germs and bacteria out of your body, just like a bouncer at an exclusive club. So you have regular discharge, which is mostly white with a tinge of yellow. But when it's gray or neon green or yellow, that's not good. You have to get it checked. Now, if your juicy pot or the area around the opening is extra itchy, or, you know, painful for far too long, more than a day, those are signs that something isn't right. You might have an infection, or something more serious is happening down there, and you need to see a doctor as soon as possible. Don't play, or don't wait it out, okay? Because your coochie is a very sensitive area, and if you let things just play out the way it is, or you wait it out, it might just infest into something bigger, and you don't want that. The truth is that so many untreated infection has led to infertility. And another thing that we as women do that causes bad odor down there is when you retain tampons. For those of you who use tampons, you have the tendency to forget it because it's in there. All right, if you've left your tampon throughout the day, you need to get it removed. If you cannot remove it, then you have to get yourself to the hospital or to the ER for them to remove it, for a healthcare provider to remove it. Go to the pharmacy and tell them that you forgot your tampon for whatever time frame that you did, and you need a prescription to get your pH healthy and back to normal again. The one thing that I strongly discourage women from doing is using scented products inside the coochie canal, because the tissue is the most delicate part of the body down there, all right, and the most sensitive to irritation, like an allergen. So for the most part, don't mess with your coochie. It knows how to take care of itself. It cleanses itself. If you do see or smell something that doesn't sit right with you, have a healthcare provider or professional to check it out. And then again, if you're sexually active, you need to see you need to always visit your gynecologist. You also need to have tests done to know how healthy that you are, and also stick to one partner, because there are lots of sexually transmitted diseases that might not be protected by using protection condoms. All right, there's so many diseases. There's so many sexually transmitted diseases out there that a lot of people are not paying attention to. There's a new one that has just been discovered. I'm going to make a research on that and talk about it later on. But then again, I'm going to end this video right here. When I come back, I will tell you how to properly wash the coochie, because a lot of women have misconstrued the coochie and the vulva together. So they tend to do things that are not supposed to be done to the coochie, and at the end of the day, they find themselves treating for infection even when they're not sexually active. Okay, so I am going to be showing you how to properly wash your coochie in the next video. Ladies, this period is for you. Do not miss out, okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you do love my content, do well to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share with your friends and families, so that they can also benefit from the content that I'm dishing out. Until next time, do enjoy yourself, and I love you big time. Mwah.